Hello, I'm Amy Sonneman, and today I'd like to share with you the Vintage Artistry Coral Collection from 49 & Market. The first piece in the Vintage Artistry Coral Colors collection is the Mini Collection Kit. This kit includes 4 double-sided 12 by 12 papers, as well as 2 laser cut elements. The one thing I want to share with you is be sure to check the back side of your cover sheet. Most people just throw this piece away, but if you look at it really closely, you can cut any of these apart and use them as elements in your layout or on a card. But if you look at the back, which is typically white with most companies, they have used all of the packaging to be able to include in some of the layouts and cards that you make. So there's this beautiful striped tear strip, which would be great for a little border or layering photos on top of, and then this beautiful piece of paper. So don't throw away your packaging. Note to self, there's always a surprise on the back side. So be sure to turn your packaging over and be sure to save it. First, I'll show you all of the front sides of each of the papers, and then I'll turn them over and show you the back sides. This is the Love Letters 12 by 12 piece of paper. It's on a beautiful piece of heavyweight cardstock, perfect for layering. It'll hold all of your flowers, all of your mixed media, pastes and stencils and colors and so forth. So absolutely beautiful weight of paper. This is the Fleur sheet of paper. It has beautiful hints of that lighter watercolored coral look. Some flowers, a little bit of text over here, like a torn page out of maybe a phone book. Just absolutely beautiful. Some watercolor spots. This paper is called Je t'aime. It has the beautiful shades of coral with little hints of gray underneath. The font is kind of in a charcoal gray color. Lots of watercolor backgrounds. Love the radial elements here where you can put your picture in the center and make that your focal point. So beautiful. This paper is called Modern Romance. It has some fun water spots, little hints of text peeking through. Love the flowers, brings in a little bit of the sage green on this side with the flowers. Lots of shades of the coral. These are the back sides of each of the sheets. This has a beautiful built-in frame that you could put a picture in and add just a few little embellishments. It has some stitching here. It's faux stitching. A lot of little coral color undertones here with some fun ephemera. And then my favorite is always the tear strips. So be sure you keep the tear strips because look how beautiful that would be. You could cut them apart and use them as tags on a card or on a layout. So be sure to keep the tear strips. Love this subtle leaf background, as well as the detailed tear strip on the bottom. Kind of has some fun lace in here. Multiple shades of the coral on the edges. Some brush strokes and maybe a light gray. Very beautiful. I love the brush strokes on this one. Kind of a lace tear strip at the very bottom, so pretty. Teeny hints, if you can see that, of just teeny tiny text underneath. Love the way that looks. How beautiful is this? Absolutely stunning. And it also has the tear strip along the bottom. Fun for mounting and layering. This collection also includes 2 laser elements. It's a 12 by 12 sheet with tons of different elements that pop out to use on your layouts, on cards and so forth. Very detail cut, including the little tiny antenna from the butterflies. Look at that. This is the other 12 by 12 laser cut elements sheet, which includes some beautiful lace, a banner strip. There's some pink lace at the top, a few pop outs for maybe dates or a title. There's nested frames. All of these pop out. I'll show you how to do that in a minute. Even some tiny little fake sequins. Love that. The detail is just absolutely beautiful. All of those are laser cut, so you don't have to pop out any of those tiny pieces. They're already laser cut for you, as well as the pink at the top. Isn't that pretty? There are two ways to pop out the elements on the 12 by 12 sheet. Some people like to just tear them out. And if you tear them out, just be gentle. Sometimes you can spin it as well and like twist it, and it'll come apart easily. But if you notice, there are these little tiny white pieces of paper showing where you've torn it. So if you tear them carefully, you can easily go back in and cut off the edges. Just those little tiny white spots. Sometimes if you're not careful when you tear, you get these little white things right here. So you might have to go back in and touch those up with maybe a marker. I have a better way to save you a little bit of hassle. Each piece is attached in 3, maybe 4 places, and you can see kind of right here where it's attached. All I'm going to do is take a fine pair of scissors and just snip those little pieces. And I usually do this when I'm sitting in front of the television. I pop out all of my pieces at once, and then I put them into a plastic container to keep them safe for when I use them. If you notice, there's none of that little, fraying of the white pieces of paper. It's beautifully cut. This postage stamp looks real. That's how beautifully laser cut it is. Absolutely stunning. So I recommend taking your time, cutting out all of the individual pieces and putting them into a plastic container to keep them safe until you're ready to use them. The next piece in this collection is the 6x6 coral paper pad. The paper pad includes 3 of each of the double-sided papers in the collection, like that. And then there are also 4 fussy cut element sheets that you can cut apart. And these are the cut apart pieces, so these are meant for fussy cutting. The nice thing about this is if you are not a fussy cutter, and I know there are a lot of people out there that do not like to fussy cut at all. So what I recommend is don't just disregard this piece. The back of it is this beautiful coral. So make sure you use that to put as a layer behind a picture or cut a tag out of it or so forth, because it's definitely useful if you're not a fussy cutter. This is the last cut apart sheet in the 6x6 paper pad. It's more neutral. It has less of the pretty coral color in it. It's more of a neutral tone, but they mix and match well. Again, if you're not a fussy cutter and that totally would drive you crazy, I have friends that would absolutely not fussy cut, and that's okay. Flip it over and use it as a layer or a texture, or put some texture paste on it and give it a different look. Use it, to cut out maybe tags or frames or whatever with your die cut machine and so forth. So even if you're not a fussy cutter, make sure you flip it over. How fun is that? That's the 6x6 paper pad. The next piece in this collection are the washi strips. And the washi strips are flat strips of washi tape put on an acetate sheet like this. There are 7 different styles per sheet, so you get 14 total. Each one pulls apart from the acetate sheet really easily. The nice thing about this washi tape is usually washi tape doesn't stick very well. You have to use an added piece of adhesive to make it work properly and not peel up. This is not going to go anywhere. It has a beautiful sticky back to it. You can tear just bits and pieces of it off. You can use the whole strip. But the nice thing about it is, and I don't know if you can see this or not, is the edges are also washi tape. If you've used all of your washi pieces off of your acetate sheet, don't forget these little tiny pieces right here, because you could also incorporate those into a layout or a card. Very fun. They come in these beautiful different patterns. You won't have a whole roll of extra washi tape that doesn't match anything. I like that the washi tape stores beautifully with your papers. It doesn't wrinkle anything. I don't have to worry about where I put my roll of washi tape. Great idea. I love the theory behind this. I hope you do too. The next piece in this collection are the collage stacks. And the collage stacks have 52 elements, 24 of which are heavyweight cardstock, 16 are text weight, like this, and 12 are craft in a text weight. Let me show you those a little closer. So all of the coral colors that you see here, those are all heavyweight cardstock. So all of these pieces are nice and firm, beautiful for layering, for peeking out of the edges of your pages, card making, and so forth. So there are tickets and frames and banners and little tiny pieces you can put your date on or a little title. The next piece in this collection are the text weight pieces, and these are white pieces of paper that would easily go inside of your typewriter to maybe do your journaling, add some details about a trip, and so forth. Those are really fun. The last piece in this collection are the craft text weight pieces. We have a few tickets in different sizes. I love that they're die cut edges that are not perfectly straight, great for layering. You could easily slice this down the middle and have two pieces of ephemera. That's fun. I like that the pieces are different on each side. You could do that, the same thing with this, slice it down the center and use bits and pieces of it. There's 4 of those. There are 2 of the larger pieces. There are also some little banners and so forth that come with that. And that is the collage stack collection. The last piece in this collection are the stitched frames. There are 6 frames of different sizes in this set. Each one has hand-stitched detailing on them. So beautiful. They come in 3 different sizes. There are the 4x6. There's a two perfectly square ones. And then there are these little minis as well. So beautiful. Look at the detailing. All of that beautiful stitched detail in coral. That is the last piece in the Vintage Artistry Coral Colors collection. If you're like me, you also like to add beautiful flowers and leaves to your collection. It gives a little bit more dimension to your cards and layouts and so forth. Well, 49 and Market does a fantastic job of creating coordinating flowers for each of the collections. I'm going to show you some of the matching flowers here. Some of them have the whole bouquet already made, like this. Others have individual flowers with separate pieces of greenery. So the leaves don't have to be attached. Some of the leaves are, like this, but others are not. So if you want to add just a little tiny touch to each of the frames, you could easily do that. If you want to go hog wild and add all kinds of flowers, you can do that as well. If you're looking to add a little bit of lace, the lacy trims in white from 49 and Market is a beautiful match to all of the coral collection as well. Let me get you the names of some of the colors of flowers that would match beautifully. So these are the Tutti Frutti collection. So you've got a little bit of pink, a little coral, a little darker coral, as well as a bunch of greenery. You also have the tangerine. You could easily use some of the white fluff colored flowers. You can use mint flowers as well. So those are just a few options if you're looking to add to your collection that matches perfectly with the coral collection. Next, I want to share this beautiful 12 by 12 layout with you. It has some beautiful coral flowers. Lots of detail using the Coral Elements pieces layered and stacked in through here. There's dimension here with just a little bit of foam tape underneath. Let me show you the flowers up close and how they're built up. Look how beautiful. Giving you a sneak peek of some of the Dusty Attic chipboard pieces. Isn't that beautiful? A close-up of all of the different elements and how they're layered. Can you see that? Absolutely beautiful. Some torn paper here. Look at this. The little birds. Those are all chipboard pieces from Dusty Attic. Some torn washi back here, just peeking out, just little hints of it. So beautiful. And that is using the Vintage Artistry Coral Collection from 49 and Market. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please like, share, and leave a message. Have a wonderful day.